A quick stat for you. 47% of buyers today begin their home search online before even talking to an agent. 97% of buyers will use the internet at some point during the process. So if you don't have a real online presence, you're invisible to the largest buyer pool in the history of this industry. Okay, so a couple tools we'll be discussing in today's session. EasyDigs provides many tools to address these issues, and we're only going to touch on a few today. We'll talk through the introductory questionnaire, which provides information for the agent site builder. Then I'll show you how EasyDigs makes it really simple to publish a professional branded site without having to hire a designer or a developer. Finally, the Easy Assistant will help you write and publish blogs to establish yourself as an authority in the real estate industry and also attract new people to your site. Overall, I want to show you how we've incorporated AI to expedite all of these tasks amongst many others. The triangle content gap. Triangle buyers, especially those relocation buyers that we've discussed in previous sessions, are doing months of online research before they even come to town to tour homes. The agent who shows up in that research with useful MLS-grounded content will inspire confidence and is more likely to get that call. And here's the gap. Most triangle agents aren't publishing consistently. Search results for relocating to Cary or triangle real estate market updates are full of Zillow posts and national media, not the expertise of local agents. That gap is totally yours to own. One post per week for 6 months will put you in front of buyers that your competitors will never reach. All right. So the questionnaire that we've designed to establish your own site pulls some very important pieces of information that fundamentally you want to be shown on your landing page. Your personal statements and your agent profile are the source of truth for everything visitors see on your site. Many agents underestimate the importance of their public profile and internet presence. I often see bio coming soon or statements that clearly present outdated information. Unfortunately, they assume that no one's paying attention and it costs them leads. So here are the critical pieces of information that should be present on your landing page, some of which are the first thing your client should see when they go to your site. Obviously, basic info, your name, your email. Professional details. How long have you been in this market? What brokerage do you work for? What are your specialties? Do you exclusively do luxury homes? Are you also working with first-time home buyers? All of these things you'll specify in your questionnaire. Third, your bio. This is where the AI actually comes into play. So based on the information in your questionnaire, you can either add a bio, which we've all written one at some point, hopefully, or you can leave it up to us and we'll generate something for you. All of this stuff is editable in the long run, so you can play around with this and see what works better for you. Your service area, super important. You want your clients to know that they are in the right place. And then contact preferences goes on a later page, but either way, it's going to be easily accessible for your clients. Okay, so ideally, we would be showing a questionnaire, but what we're going to do instead is show the end result that comes from once you fill out the questionnaire, once you provide even the most basic information that I've presented in this slide, you should get something like this. All of this was based on me entering kind of the bare bones information, no long text, no brainstorming, punchy bios, just based on what our AI tool assembled based on my personal information. So really quick, let's just review what it did. We have, now that the content has been generated, you see your personal statement, your hero banner, and down here, you're going to see a carousel relating to your specialty. All of these things can be edited, and we will get to that soon. You can also see your IDX integration. We have a number of examples that pop up automatically. You can choose to keep them or remove them. Your users will always be able to access MLS information through the search or easy search functions on the site. And it's a nice feature for you to kind of decide how you want your page to be structured. More room for personal statements and business philosophy can be found under About Us. This is a great place for a headshot, pictures of your team, or if you're the broker in charge, links to your agent sites. You can also include client testimonials, mission statements, whatever you like. And then lastly, a great spot for your certifications also. Lastly, the Contact Us. This is a place for you to have a call to action that gets people excited to reach out to you. So again, we can generate something for you. You can edit it, all up to you. And then, of course, where your clients will be reaching out. The goal here is to make your clients excited to get in touch. All right, so we can leave the site as is. A lot of work has been done in a short amount of time. Once you fill out the questionnaire, which you can fill out as much or as little as you have time for, because at the end of the day, you can come in and edit. So I will switch back really quick. Let's look at some thoughts for site customization before we actually get into the editing. So, branding and image selection. EasyDigs gives you site themes, color options, and places to upload unique images. Each of these features contribute to a look that's completely distinct from every agent using a bland default template. Here's the process. You pick a theme that represents your business, you upload images, and you experiment with layout, publish. The content we provided in the questionnaire will dictate what kind of features pop up for you as an agent. So that will trigger design options, and all you have to do is customize to match your profile. The images on your site can be of you, your team, or a special home you've listed. At least one of our users has his site filled with pictures of himself and his wife/business partner, and that really emphasizes that they're running a family business. It's a really beautiful site. Your logo is really important here. As you can see, I have my logo at the bottom of the screen. This is a white label site after all. Very important to make sure that your logo is on every single page and displayed wherever else you prefer. If you work for a larger brokerage, you likely have been provided a number of options for your logo. If you haven't, you can always ask, and I'm sure they'll give you a number of high-res images of the logo. If you are unaffiliated and you don't have a logo yet, this is another great spot for AI to step in. When coming up with a prompt for your AI tool of choice, whichever one you subscribe to, you should include the name of your business and the core values you want your logo to project. It will also save you time down the line if you prefer a specific size. For EasyDig site, it's best to keep images under 100 kilobytes. For this example, for holistic real estate, I use the prompt, generate a logo for holistic real estate, a modern real estate brokerage that embraces community and sustainability under 100 kilobytes. It came up with this logo that's at the bottom of the screen. You can request multiple redesigns until you're happy with the generated image, add critique, just keep doing it until you come back with something that looks like it fits you. For my chosen aesthetic on my website, I chose to present a small home in a really quaint neighborhood for maybe a first-time buyer home. For my prompt, what I entered was generate images of a small family home in a quaint neighborhood under 100 kilobytes. These 3 images is what I got. If it helps you to create these images all in the same project, so all the information that you've entered for your logo can be can contribute to the design of these images as well. So just to be clear, I am using Gemini for these. This is absolutely an option for you if you like. Or like I said before, you can use your own images. You can adjust the sizing in advance with a tool like Photoshop or something simple and free like Preview. If you're struggling, a quick Google search can help. Another pro tip, if your AI tool can produce photo-like images, you can submit photos and request touch-ups. Nothing takes the place of a trained photographer and a photo editor, but if you're just getting started, this is a great place to kick off. You can enter an image and a prompt, something like, make this image look like a professional headshot. Again, it may not look great initially. You can always resubmit until you get what you like. I found in particular that Gemini likes a sepia tone. Okay, so let's switch back to the site. Now that our site has been generated, finally, let's get into editing. If you have at all any design preference, this will be a very fun process for you, or it was for me. So it's hard not to get distracted by this screen here. If you've entered a legitimate agent number, your MLS data will be downloaded automatically so you can see recent listings and opportunities. Let's focus on the task at hand. You can go back to previous sessions and explore how these visuals can help you on the day-to-day in your daily workflow. So I'm going to go over here to tenant settings and themes. We go to edit settings, and now we have a side-by-side preview of our edits. On the left here, we have brand and theme. Let's skip that for now and focus on images. You'll understand why soon. Okay, let's start with the logo. I am going to pull up. You can't necessarily see this, or maybe you can, but I'm going to choose a logo, and then we have an option to crop. Because this is the logo that's going to be displayed on the top left of the screen, it is a little smaller. So I'm just going to get rid of some of this negative space and make sure that my logo is taking up as much space as possible. Okay, this one is just me, but I also like to put a larger version of my logo under the Work With Us section. So let's go down here. And full size is fine. Great. So now your logo is prominently displayed on your landing page. Again, this is a perfect place for you to put any kind of image, especially if it has some kind of local element, maybe your favorite basketball team, whatever you prefer. And now let's move on to a couple more images. This is your hero banner. This is where if whatever was generated, if it's not to your liking or you'd like to make some tweaks, if there's something that's distinctly you that you need to put in your bio, please do. All of that stuff can be edited right here. Your hero banner, your title, all this stuff can be changed. Okay, so really quick, I'm just gonna go into this. I'm gonna choose, because my site is more for first-time home buyers. My clientele is more specific to those getting into their first home. I'm going to downgrade these images to something a little bit more modest. Of course, we would all love that to be our first home, but it is just not practical. We can upload original photo. And then lastly, let's do an exterior shot. And you will see in just a moment why uploading these images is important to do first, because what banner we pick is going to kind of decide how these images are displayed. All right. So now that we've got all of the images selected, let's circle back to themes. We have a lot of great themes to choose from. Right now, this one is Manor, very sleek. It projects a very cool, professional, for the modern clientele. Sunlit and coastal kind of have a similar warm vibe. I love these if you're trying to project a more relationship-oriented identity as an agent. And then just another cool example, I really like Neo. High contrast, very eye-catching. This to me projects an agent that really embraces technology. So you can select the theme, and like as you can see here, it will update automatically. And your images are already here, so you can see how they fit in the theme of your site as a whole. So you can see these kind of color coordinations. All right, this is something that you can change every day if you want to. You don't need a designer, you don't need to hire a developer to update your website. You can do this every other day. Okay, so as promised, one more thing. It's very important to publish your changes. Never forget to publish your changes. Luckily, we have this handy pop-up screen that won't let you. And just for your education, this is your About Us page and your contact. These are how you can get to each of these pages to edit. All right. So let's get to blogs. Our blog generator. A well-researched blog takes 2 to 4 hours to write if you're going to do it correctly. Easy Assistant. Wait, before we get here, let's pop back over. Okay. So Easy Assistant and the blog generator, that can take your 2-hour task down to 20 minutes or fewer because it generates posts based on real MLS data from your service area. You can choose different options based on how much time you have and what level of AI you need at the moment. So let's explore some options. We have Insight. These are topics based on your market and your client activity. This tool gets more and more astute based on your client's interaction with your site, what types of homes they search for, and what kind of buyer they identify as. So these insight tools will get more and more astute as you go on. We have Generate Blog, that is a fully generated blog post, and then Write Assist, and we're going to get back into it before I explain those. Okay, so now that we're here, let's go to a new blog. As you can see, Insights, and here are some posts that Insights suggest based on some posts that I've done in the past. Over here is some really great insight as to how your last posts have performed. We'll get into stuff like that in our next session. So let's go to Generate Blog. Right here, you can write your blog topic. I am going to pick, let's just copy and paste this here. My prompt today is going to be Carrie versus Apex, which is better for your family. We need to make sure we're choosing a tone. I like educational and friendly. Professional's good. I tend to lean away from authoritative, but maybe that's just me. I'm not recommending anything in particular. Okay, so we're going to hit Generate with AI. It's going to prompt you to pick an image. This is another place where AI can be very helpful, to pick an image that grabs your potential clientele, that pulls them into the article. I'm going to choose this one because it's kind of generic and sort of looks like Carrie. All right, so we've got that there. It will pop up once the blog is generated in better dimensions, but we'll see that when we're done. Okay, and then lastly, Write Assist is exactly what it sounds like. Do you have a topic that you're really passionate about, a rant that you need to share? Write Assist is going to help you keep it brief and punchy, increasing the likelihood that your potential clients will read the post, but also understand it. So while this is generating, I'm going to switch back to slides and discuss best practices. Okay, number one, most important best practice, always review it before you publish. Always read your output before you put it up. AI can only do so much, and you must verify the information that you're putting out there. This potentially could be your client's first impression of you. So it's incredibly important that it looks right. As far as blogs, socials, and analytics, every post can be posted across multiple channels the day you publish. So, for example, LinkedIn, Facebook, you can take this and email it to past clients who'd be interested in a particular topic, all of which will significantly multiply your outreach. Make sure you review your analytics regularly. We will be covering analytics in the next session. Michael has some really great tips on what these analytics can show you and why they're important. Okay, topic ideas. Get in the habit of collecting blog ideas. As you go through your day-to-day, plenty of great blog topics will pop up to you. I guarantee you, you just have to be in the habit of thinking like, is this question from my client something that everybody is wondering at the moment? Very likely it is. Okay, and lastly, you have options to either publish now or schedule to publish. This can be great for publishing on days where there's high traffic. So on the site, you'll see that it typically recommends like Tuesday around 10 a.m. Those are times when people are more engaged, more likely to check their socials, check their emails. You don't want to get too ahead of yourself in scheduling posts because you want to make sure that your posts are current and topical. If you're writing about something that was interesting 4 weeks ago, it's probably not going to get as many clicks. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's pop back over and see how the blog is coming along. And we're done. Here is a full blog post that is pulling information from the MLS, giving a nice comparison of Cary and Apex. To a lot of out-of-town buyers, this is a huge question. It is difficult to get to the point where you can just break down these two neighborhoods. So be that person that provides this source of information. Again, please read it over. So as I discussed earlier, you can publish this now. You can save it as a draft. You can schedule ahead. Okay, so lastly, coming up at the end of the month, Michael will be showing how to view and interpret your post analytics and how to understand which of your posts are generating traffic to your site. In fact, the blog topic that we just came up with is a great topic for out-of-state home buyers. Michael will show you in the next session how to post this and attract those out-of-state buyers with meta tags and search engine optimization. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Before we close, expect a recording to land in your inbox probably tomorrow or Friday. Also, look out for the next session calendar invite. It should be coming soon. If you need any help finishing your site, customizing, or getting a couple blog posts together, please feel free to reach out to me and book a slot. I will put my contact information in the chat and a link to my calendar. No pitch, just guidance. Just want to show you how to get these things up and ready to roll. Okay, thanks everybody for watching. Remember, less drag, more flow. See you next time.